Good morning, Karen Burns here. I have a lot of questions about how I use the palette knife, so I just thought I would do this quick little video for you. This is one that I like a lot because of the shape of the head. It is from Blick, and I have already worn the number off of this one, but you can get an idea of what the head shape is like. I have this little one from Blick that gets into some tight spaces. It's not terribly flexible. It's a number 40 if you want a smaller head for smaller sizes. And I use some from Oak Blade, and I love the flexibility of them. They just really let me get in there with the paint quite well. This one is quite large for what this little demonstration today, so I will be using the No Name Blick one. But if you're new using a palette knife, something to look for might be to get one with this taller arch here that allows you to keep your hand further away from your painting. That seems to help a lot. So I will start just by getting some paint down. I tend to load up the back edge with paint. You can see the back edge has paint on it. That way when I spread down, it adds the paint quite well. I do a lot of mixing right on the palette just because it's so easy to mix well. You can scrape, you can hold it flatter and apply the paint. I use a lot of warm grays, and if you want your warm gray to be warmer, you add a little cad orange to it. But you can see how easy it is to mix these colors together. I like the cooler grays. You just add more blue to it to keep it looking cool. And then you can even add yellow to it and get like a greenish tinge. I mean, all of these colors work so well for metal. I use a lot of different mixtures, and I'm just pressing with the back. See how my palette knife is loaded? I can just pull right down with that. And then holding it flatter, I can just blend that in. So colors I like when I do metal, I love transparent yellow oxide. Spread some of that out. By adding grays to the transparent yellow oxide, you just kind of get a dirty metal look. Make that a little darker in there. And I just keep working it using the back edge of that brush. Occasionally you will load the front end of your brush if you need to push paint up and away from you. And depending on the form you're working on, you might want to pull your palette knife in different directions. Then if you want to add texture on top of that, I load up quite a bit more, and I can just work it in slowly. Well, my palette knife is moving quickly, but work it in with spaces between it so it looks like there's layers and layers built up. Try get a little yellow in this and lighten that up a little bit. If you load the back end of your your palette knife up, just touch the top of it like this and then just drag quickly. This is good for highlights. Just go swoosh like that. It gives you a lot of texture. I like transparent red oxide. A lot of the transparent colors just work really well when I'm mixing on the palette. Back end of the brush, pull it down. And you can blend it right on the canvas. I especially like cobalt blue and transparent yellow oxide blended together. I'll add a little white to that so you can see it better. It gives you a nice yellowish gray. So I blend on the canvas using the back edge of the knife, loaded, pulling down, not terribly flat, just kind of at an angle to get things blended. And then loading up the back end of the knife. Sometimes I will just place it first and then I will just swoosh. If you don't like that, you just go back in and blend it in and try it again. And we're just working on a piece of scrap canvas. I cut them out and just tape them to a cardboard board, piece of cardboard, just for practice. Sometimes I'll do this and just make color swatches and work on getting what colors I want for the project I'm working on. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know.